Daddy's really late. I haven't gotten a message from the guild saying he'd be home today too. I can't really do little girls, can I? And Scare's gone traveling the kingdom on some kind of training. I'm so bored. Maybe I'll just practice with my staff a bit before dinner. Hey, I'm home. Daddy! Sorry to have kept you waiting, Estelle. Did you take good care of the house while I was away? Of course I did. Did you run into any trouble, Daddy? You didn't get hurt fighting the bad monsters, did you? Nope. I'm as fit as a fiddle. That reminds you, though, I brought you a present. Really? What kind of present? A new fishing pole, sneakers, something for my training? Maybe I raised you wrong, Estelle. Our little girl's supposed to be like, fuck you. I like pretty clothes, but they just get dirty. And jewelry breaks when you go play outside with it on. And anyway, Daddy, what's in the big blanket? Is that my present? Oh, you're a sharp one. Now, why don't you come have a look? What? Well, here you are. Quite a handsome boy, don't you think? Why is my present a boy? Don't make such a fuss or you'll wake him up. Wake him up? You mean he's still alive? Looks kind of dead if you ask me. I've treated his wounds, so he should be in stable condition. In the meantime, however, we'll need to let him rest. I'll put him to bed, so if you wouldn't mind heating a kettle of water on the stove, I'd appreciate it. Okay. He sure sleeps soundly. He almost looks the same age as me. This is the first time I've ever seen black hair like that, too. He certainly does have a nice head of dark hair, and a pair of amber eyes to go with it. That's nice and all, but how about you come clean up and fess up? Fess up? Yeah, who is this kid anyway, and why is he hurt? Why did you bring him to our house? Is he an illegitimate child or something? Did you betray mommy? Oh, where have you been picking up these kinds of words? No doubt from Skarzard. Skarzard, I assume. Yep, that's right. Oh, for heaven's sake, that girl is going to get me into trouble one of these days with all of her nonsense. Actually, I just met this boy while I was out on business, and I don't even know his name. You mean bracer business? Something like that. Oh, look. Huh? He's waking up. Wow, his eyes really are the color of amber. Where am I? Ah, so you're awake now, are you? Welcome to my humble home. You'll be safe here, so please just try to rest. What are you trying to pull? Huh? You must be out of your mind. Why? Why didn't you just leave me there to die? Why? Now that's a question I don't know how to answer. Does things just worked out that way work for you? Don't toy with me, Cassie Sprite. Do you have any idea what you're getting yourself involved in? Hey! You're sure shouting a lot for someone who's supposed to be hurt. Running your mouth like that is just going to make it take longer for your body to heal. And just who are you supposed to be? I'm Estelle Bright. She's my daughter. Don't you remember me telling you that I had a daughter your age? Now that you mention, wait a minute. Don't try to change the subject. Ow. Quit yelling. All right already. But you jumping on me like that isn't going to make me heal any faster either. I don't hear you yelling again, do I? Look, jumping on me like this is just going to make things worse. Do I hear yelling? Never mind. Just forget it. That's a word of advice. It would be wise not to argue with Estelle while you're in this house. Even I wouldn't stand a chance if I made her mad enough. Yeah, I can see that. By the way, aren't you forgetting something? Huh? Your name. You know, the thing that people call you? I told you mine already, so don't you think it would be unfair and impolite not to tell me yours? It seems like the logical thing to do if you ask me. Trying to hide it now would only serve to your detriment. Fine. My name is... Sleepy. Movie time, everybody. I'm seeing this movie for the first time. Oh my god, I was so happy and excited. Just, it made me feel so good and excited for what was about to come. Although I guess if there's no talking sections, I don't have to try to adjust in the volume when people are talking, which is nice. Just means I have to fucking read everything though. Oh, just fine, I'll live. I love you all, so I'll live. It's fucking... it's nothing. Oh, Sub-07-713. How are you doing today? Thanks for the raid of 5. I greatly appreciate it. I mean, we're all dying anyway, so does it matter? But I'll do my best not to die. I'm so excited to play this game again. What were you playing? Were you the one playing Trails in the Sky? Because I saw someone else, there were some other videos of it. Ah, Azure, okay. I can't wait to play that too, I'm so excited. Whenever I get there. So I just came from Trails of Cold Steel 2. Yeah, I was playing Trails of Cold Steel 1. I was telling Juan to play everything before I got to what's after Trails of Cold Steel 4, and everyone's like, don't go past 2 then. Do not go past 2. And after I got near the end of 2, I'm like, I see why everyone is telling me don't go past 2, because if you're going to play the Crossbell series, don't go past 2. I'm like, that makes sense. But I hope that's working out for you. I'm excited. Oh my god. Oh, I can't wait to play all these games again. Well, no, I played 1 a long time ago. I played 2. Well, like, oh my god, I would think so, yeah. Yeah, because like in Trails of Cold Steel 2, they say something that happened in the Crossbell arc. Anyway, it's so bright in here. I slept like a rock. Oh, that must mean it's Dad's turn to cook this morning. I wonder if that means Joshua's still in bed. Guess that's a no. Well, I guess I'd better get myself ready then, too. Yes, SC's after FC. I might have just mixed the 2 words up. But yeah, because when I first started streaming, I had voted for what game to play next. Yeah, it is a little bit grainy. I mean, it's coming from the PSP and it's blown up. Bigger than it should be. So I'm going to... Nice, Joshua. Bravo. Good morning, Estelle. I hope I didn't wake you. Nah, I was already up when I heard you start to play. I can't believe how awake you are, though. Even the roosters still have bags under their eyes. Not that I mind. What with that siren song of yours? Gently lulling this beautiful woman from her slumber? What do you mean, woman? We're the same age. I'm hardly a man. How wrong you are, Joshua. We may be the same age, but I am clearly the woman of the house. And that makes you something like my loyal follower. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah. How fortunate of you. Anyway, I can't quite put my finger on it, but something seems to be missing from that melody you were playing. Overall, though, it's a great song, cheerful yet somehow wistful. I like your other songs too, of course, but this one's my favorite. What's it called again? The Whereabouts of Light. That's right, The Whereabouts of Light. I wish I could play the harmonica like you, Joshua. Sadly, it's a lot harder than it looks. Compared to what it takes to use a staff, I think the harmonica is much easier. It's really just a matter of concentration. You're probably right. I guess my problem is just that if I don't do something that uses my whole body, I start to feel drowsy. It kind of sounds like ADHD right there. Anyway, playing the harmonica is fine and all, but how about getting some exercise too? All your hobbies are sitting around kind of stuff like reading and music. No girl is going to be impressed with just that. Well, excuse me for being so unpopular with the ladies. Though I feel like I should be the one lecturing you about your hobbies. I mean, what kind of boy wants a girl who loves fishing, collecting bugs, has a fetish for sports shoes? Oh, that sounds pretty cool. I mean, I would like to see the bug collection. I'm not going to collect the bugs, but I think a bug collection is cool. And also learn how to fish will be fun too. That's enough talk about hobbies for now. And for your information, I graduated from bug collecting a long time ago. Really? I'll believe that when I stop finding beetles in the hallway. Friends. Hey, Estelle, Joshua. I guess his voice would be a little lower. Morning, Dad. Good morning, Dad. Is breakfast ready? It's ready and waiting. Why don't both of you hurry on down before it gets cold? Okay. I'm on my way. Well, I'm very happy I'm not doing Reen's voice anymore, but I know. Thanks for the grub, Dad. Boy, am I stuffed. Are you eating or inhaling, Estelle? Like people say, kids who eat and sleep a lot grow a lot. Well, make sure you get enough to eat. But don't forget to pour that energy into your work, too. That reminds me. You two are finishing up on your training at the guild today, aren't you? That's right. It'll be a review of everything we've learned up to that point. And once we've finished, we'll be bracers just like you, Dad. That means I'm not gonna let you treat me like a kid anymore either. You still lack understanding, Estelle. You can only become a junior bracer in the beginning. Or in other words, a trainee. Okay, you haven't made a cold steel yet.
You can only become a junior bracer in the beginning. Rather than play. If you want to be like an adult, then you should work out hard on your training to become a full-fledged bracer.
Well, I'm not afraid of a little hard work. Just you watch and see what I'm capable of, Dad. I'll be so successful that it won't be long before I pass you. Interesting. That's the spirit. Let's see what you made of then, shall we? Let's not start a rivalry here, you two. And Estelle, keep your focus on the task at hand. We have a test later on today, remember? Huh? Wait, what test? Okay, interesting Japanese. Please tell me that you didn't forget about the test, Estelle. You know, the one that checks whether or not we've mastered the skills we've been learning and training. Don't you remember Sherza saying that if we failed, we'd be stuck with a ton of extra homework? Oh crap, I totally forgot. Now that you mention it, I guess I kind of remember her saying something like that. Don't sweat it. I'm sure we'll manage somehow or other. I honestly don't know how you've survived this long, Estelle. Your brain is like a sieve. Papa said, how could any child of mine end up with such a careless, over-optimistic personality? You're the one who raised me, so I definitely got it from you. I swear, the two of you act so much alike, but whatever. We should probably head over to the guild soon, Estelle. Sarah's still going to be waiting for us. Sounds like a plan. You know how scary she gets when someone keeps her waiting. Oh, before I forget, it's my turn to cook dinner tonight. Is there anything in particular you'd like to eat, Dad? Any requests? Something I'd like to eat, huh? How about Rouen-style scallop fish and balsamic vinegar sauce? What's that? I think that's a little more than Estelle's cooking skills can handle. Or our stomachs. You're right. I just wanted to see what kind of reaction I'd get. I'll just have the usual fried fish and omelet. No need for anything fancy, but do try to make something edible. How rude. But I can't actually say he's wrong. Actually, I did have one favor to ask before we head out. I'd like you to pick me up a copy of the Liberal News from the General Goods Store. They're supposed to be getting the latest edition in today. Got it. One copy of the Liberal News from the General Goods Store. Yay, money! If there's any money left over, you can have it as your allowance. However, that means no wasteful spending. All right, thanks, Dad. Okay, we're headed out now. See you later, Dad. Work hard and give Shirazard my regards. I'm gonna figure out how the fuck to say that. Well, it looks like we made good time. Not too early and not too late either. We just barely graduated from Sunday school. I never dreamed we'd have to study so hard to become bracers. Well, you're in luck. Today is our last day of training. That sounds horrible. Truth be told, though, you're the one who signed up to be a bracer in the first place, so I don't know why you'd expect to get away with any less effort. Oh, yeah. Huh, I guess I did. All right, then. Let's get to it and make it through the last hazing from Sherza. You look ready to me. Let's go meet with Shara at the bracer guild over there, then. Right. There you two are. Good morning, Estelle. Good morning, Joshua. Morning, Ina. Good morning. Is Shara here already? Yes, she's waiting for you upstairs. Once you finish today's training, you'll finally be recognized as members of the Bracer Guild. Good luck to the both of you. Thanks. We'll do our best. The Star and the Hanged Man, the Hermit and the Magician, and last of all, Inversion through the Wheels of Fortune. This is a difficult combination. How should I interpret this? Good morning, Shara. Well, if it isn't Estelle and Joshua, this is a rare occasion for you both to show up so early. Since it's my last day of training, I figured, why not? I'm ready to get the show on the road and become a bracer myself. I'll give you credit for your enthusiasm, but I'm gonna make you work hard today in every way I can think of to make sure that high-speed attitude of yours holds up. I hope you're ready. I can feel the enthusiasm dropping already. Quiet, you. Every time I teach you something, you manage to forget it. This training is my way of trying to keep some of that information in your head instead of letting it dribble out your ears like it usually does. Joshua, Shara's picking on me. Don't worry, Shara. While Estelle may hate studying and rarely ever does her homework, acts rashly, is over naive and has a tendency to stick her nose into everything, her instincts are sharp, so I'm sure she'll pick up how to use an Orbment with some practice. Eventually. Probably. I guess there's not much I can do now except hope for the best. Hold on a sec, Joshua. Somehow I get the feeling that you weren't standing up for me. Well, that's odd. I'm positive I described all your best traits accurately. Whatever. By the way, Shara, what were you trying to predict with your tarot cards? Your face was really intent. Oh, this? I was just trying to get a vague reading about what might happen in the near future. Unfortunately, I don't seem to have been in the right mindset to interpret the cards correctly. You couldn't read the cards? Now that's surprising to hear. Actually, the more profound the meaning of the cards, the more difficult they become to interpret. But that's not important now. I think it's time we start your final training. I'll give you a brief rundown of all the information we've covered in your previous training. This is the minimal level of knowledge that bracers should have in order to function effectively. And Estelle, make sure you pay especially close attention to what I'm going to say. Yeah. It really does sound like she has like ADHD or something. Orbments are mechanical devices which operate by using what is known as orbital energy. A variety of effects can be produced depending on their structure and their type of quartz process septum installed. Although it's only been about 50 years since their invention, these devices play an integral role in all facets of life, from lights, theaters, and other everyday products to weapons, magic, and even airships. In connection, this technological reform is commonly known as the Orbital Revolution. Bracers are investigative and combat specialists who work to protect civilians and maintain the stability of their respective regions. They aid the community in various ways, such as exterminating monsters, preventing crime, finding lost items, and escorting people and goods, like finding a cat. The Bracer Guild, which has established branches across the continent, manages the affairs of bracers in each nation. Yeah. The Kingdom of Liberal, in which we live, sits on the western half of the Zumeria continent and abounds with nature and deep-rooted traditions. West is that way. Liberal. Yeah. I called it like liberal until I heard it pronounced. I was like, oh, fuck, I'm pronouncing it wrong. Is proud to be one of the leading producers of septum on the continent and is known for its high level of technology used to develop orbments. Orbment technology has also been a key pillar of support for Liberal in protecting its independence as it is contended with neighbor nations. 10 years ago, when Liberal was invaded by the Erebonian Empire, it was use of the orbital-powered airships that saved the kingdom from defeat. Consequently, even now, our relationship with the Empire is somewhat sensitive, but thanks to the Queen's political finesse, Liberal enjoys peace. I'm very excited to see the things I'm just going to know in this game from playing Trails of Cold Steel 1 and 2. I'm very excited. I'm not going to spoil it, I'm just very excited. Let's see. Since we've got a mountain of stuff to do today, I'll let you off the hook this time with a condensed review. I'm going to speed things up now and move on to the practical portion of your training. Shara, how's today's practical training any different from the training we've done before? Since it's practical, that means we'll be experiencing things firsthand. Therefore, I am going to have the both of you run through everything as if this were a real bracer job. So what you're saying is, there won't be any studying at a desk involved? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. This time, you'll have to go out and make a physical effort to accomplish your task. I'll make sure you have to work up a sweat, so I hope you're ready. Yeah, that's seriously just what the doctor ordered. I didn't know what I was going to do if I had to sit another day with my tush parked at a desk. I guess I got all worried for nothing. Well, suddenly you're all bright and cheerful, Estelle. Let's just hope that smile on your face lasts until the end of today's training. Okay, let's get cracking on your first objective, shall we? Let's have at it. Your first objective will be to confirm the details of the job you will be performing. But before that, there's something that we need to give the both of you. Aina, are they ready? Yes, they are. All right, you two, go and get one for each of yourselves. These are very important, so make sure not to lose them. Bracer notebooks serve as the official way to record the status of your current jobs. Also, anything you may hear or anything that you may find and wear, these kind of trivial things can often become clues. No matter how insignificant something may seem, always write it down. Understood. Crap! Sounds like it's gonna be a pain. Oh? Please tell me it was my ears playing tricks on me. Perhaps I swear I only got one response. I'm sure there were two. Keeping an accurate account of events is an important duty for all bracers. So, get with the program and stop trying to make this out to be more than it really is, Estelle. Okay, I got it. Make sure you do. All right, then let's begin. Look over by the door. You can see that there's a bulletin board standing there. Very good. It looks like you were able to see what was posted without any trouble. Checking the bulletin board is one of the most basic functions a bracer performs on their job. Checking regularly to see whether or not there are any urgent tasks which needs immediate attention is also an important duty for bracers. Man, all this talk about duty is starting to cramp my style. Sure, there are a lot of rules to follow, but there's an equal level of responsibility in the jobs themselves. I think being a bracer calls for much more than just someone with a half-hearted attitude. I guess you're right. I'll just have to be more motivated. Had a change of heart, have you? You betcha. Well, before all that motivation sneaks off somewhere, let's get to work on your next task. What will we be doing this time? We'll be heading across the street to Mr. Melder's Orbital Factory and learning about how to use its services. He has graciously taken the time out of his work schedule to explain things, so make sure to be on your best behavior. Okay. Here is where you will learn how to use an Orbital Factory's services. At an Orbital Factory, you can modify your orbments and synthesize support quartz in order to use orbital arts. Arts have a wide range of effects and if mastered, can be extremely helpful. The bracer business is a pretty risky occupation, so the guild has had a long-standing relationship with its Orbital Factories. Anyway, this is about as much as I can explain. I'll leave the technical details to the experts, so Mr. Melders, if you wouldn't mind taking over from here?
No problem. Leave everything to me. So what is that you would like to know about? Orbments are mechanical devices which exhibit an array of effects.
Nope, not doing that.
Through the installation of various types of quartz. By definition, that means that lights, airship engines, and so on are also type
of orbments. However, the ones we'll be discussing today are battle orbments, which enhance the user's physical abilities and makes it possible to use magic. Since each orbment is adjusted to match the owner's personal aptitude, the structure of these devices also differ for each owner. Simply put, the shape of the fixed elemental slots and lines which connect them vary. At any rate, that's the layman's explanation. In order to install quartz, you must first have an open slot. By default, the central slot is open, but the other slots must be opened at an orbital factory like this. It will take a fair amount of stepith too. EP, which is needed for magic, will also see a max increase according to the number of open slots. I recommend opening them as soon as possible. So what is you'd like to know about? Simply put, orbital arts are magic which can be discharged exclusively through the use of battle orbments. In other words, a number of peculiar effects can be produced by using the orbital energy stored within these mechanical devices. Since orbital arts can be a mouthful, they are almost universally referred to as arts. Probably ought to have been called that from the get-go. There are several types of arts, but in order to be able to use them, their corresponding quartz must first be synthesized at an orbital factory. Orbments are also set up so that once a particular quartz is installed into a slot, the owner will be able to use those arts. The type of arts one can use also changes depending on the elemental value and the combination of installed quartz. Basically, if you want to use water quartz, all you have to do is install quartz with a water element value. In reality, orbments are much more complex than what I've described, but I think this information should suffice for now. So what is it you'd like to know about? Quartz are circuits made from sepith. Quartz have a vast number of effects and raise the owner's abilities while simultaneously making it possible for them to use arts. I forgot about the ability part. However, you will not be able to harness any of these effects until the quartz has been installed into a slot. However, there are also fixed slots in which only a certain type of elemental quartz can be installed. This being the case, when you synthesize a new quartz, be sure to check your orbment and decide where you will be installing it ahead of time. So what is it you'd like to know about? Sepith are fragments of septium which are dropped by monsters. They are divided into some types: earth, brown, water, blue, fire, red, wind, green, time, black, space, gold, and mirage, silver. Sepith can be exchanged for mirror almost anywhere, but an Orbal factory can be used to synthesize quartz and to open Orbment slots in which to install the synthesized quartz. So what is it you'd like to know about? It looks like Mr. Melders has answered all your questions. If there's something else, then let's have you both try and use the services here. For that, you're going to need some Sepith. With that amount, you two should be able to synthesize a few quartz. Now, I want you to begin by first making an elemental quartz that will work with each of your particular orbments. In your case, Estelle, any elemental quartz is okay. But for you, Joshua, it has to be a time element quartz. Normally at a shop, you would be able to exchange Sepith for Mira, but for this training, you will not be able to use this service. Alright, it looks like you're able to synthesize one. Next, I want you to increase the arts you can use. Now install a quartz into your orbments so that you can use both recovery and attack arts. Now install a quartz into orbments so that you can both use recovery and attack arts. Look at your orbments to make sure that recovery and attack arts are divided between them. You can figure this out by looking at the arts and quartz chart in the Bracer notebook in order to figure out what quartz you need to install. If you're lacking the necessary quartz, then you can synthesize them at the Orbal factory. Alright, it looks like you've got both recovery and attack arts set up. If you balance your arts out between the others like you've done here, it should make dealing with monsters much easier. Additionally, your Bracer notebooks contain information about which quartz allow you to use what arts. If you'd like to use more powerful arts, check out the arts and quartz chart in your Bracer notebook and find something that works for you. Alright, our training here is almost finished. Last of all, I'm going to have you both open a new slot in your orbments. The more slots you have available to you, the broader range of choices you'll have. Since EP is consumed by using arts, it can have its max value increased by opening up slots. It would be a good idea to open them all early on. Now, I want to use the Sepith to open a slot on each of your orbments. Go ahead and decide which slots you're going to open. I see you've managed to open one of your orbment slots, Estelle. Since your central slot is not limited to a particular element, you are free to install any type of quartz you like. This concludes your training here at the Orbal factory. Now it's time to move on to what you've both been waiting for, a qualification test. Pardon? Did you just say test? You can't honestly tell me that you forgot about the test again, can you? Didn't I remind you just this morning? Now that you mention it, I vaguely remember some sort of talk along those lines at the breakfast table. Sometimes I fear for the future of the Bracer Guild and humanity. Oh well, no sense in worrying about that now. Let's head over to the testing area. You mean like now? I don't know if I'm ready for it. How about a little less yapping and a little more walking? Joshua, help me. Mr. Melders, Freddy, thank you for all your help. Don't mention it. Good luck with that test of yours. I'll be rooting for you. I'm going to remember that you let me high and dry like this, Joshua. I need more coffee. All your training has finally come down to this. Your qualification test will begin here. I expect to see that you both use what you've learned up to this point. Understood. What's wrong, Estelle? Shara? What now? I was kind of wondering, but is there not going to be a paper test or something? Did Cassius drop you on your head as a child or something? You just read what it said on the bulletin board not that long ago, right? Yeah, and I even made you jot down what you read in your Bracer notebooks. Unless you forgot that too. I'm pretty sure the job listing mentioned searching for and retrieving an item from the sewers. Ringing any bells yet? What a relief. Oh, divine Adios, I give thanks to thee for thy infinite grace in bestowing upon us such wonderful gifts as sewers. So what you're really saying is that you thought it was a paper test? No wonder you're actually all crazy back at the Orbal factory. I can already feel the nostalgia. All these horrible days stuck in a classroom are starting to feel like grand memories indeed. I'm really starting to wonder if you'll ever be able to graduate at all. What's wrong with you? Why do you have to go and say something like that when I'm trying to reminisce about positive things? All right, that's enough jabbering, you two. This is supposed to be a test, so how about the both of you try to look a little less anxious? Just so you know, though, if you do happen to flunk the test, you don't even want to imagine the kind of homework I have in store for both of you. We'll be fine. Just tell us you want to and let us be loose. Well, if you're so confident about that... If you're so confident, then how about proving that you're not just blowing hot air with the results of your test? Anyway, as you both saw on the bulletin board, this test will be a search conducted in the Roland sewers. Your objective is to retrieve the contents of a chest which has been placed somewhere within that area. The layout of the sewers is extremely simple, so you don't need to worry about getting lost either. However, there are real, living, breathing monsters down there. So if you get careless and let your guard down, you will be sorry. Also, let me give you this before I forget. What's this book for? It's called a monster guide, and it's used to record information about monsters and other opponents you meet. Whenever you figure out an enemy's attributes, you should make an immediate note of it there. Sounds pretty straightforward to me. He who controls the flow of information controls the tide of battle, am I right? That's exactly what I'm saying. You've really got a good head on your shoulders, Joshua. That's some pretty useful advice. Thanks for the tip, Shara. We'll put it to good use. Alrighty then, let's get pumped and knock out this test. Let's. Don't forget though, this is an exam. We should make sure we treat it as such. Monsters at 12 o'clock. Be careful not to let them take advantage of your blind side. Got it. Those monsters were a lot easier than I expected. Let's keep this winning streak alive, Joshua. Hold up, Estelle. Let's write down this info for those monsters we just fought in our guide before we do anything else. Oh, whoops. Just forgot about that. Good call, Joshua. Scribbles in the guide. Okay, we're good to go. Here comes some more. Depending on the enemy, some physical attacks may be ineffective. Let's use arts, not physical attacks. Okay. Estelle, let's try using crafts this time around. Since crafts have other effects besides just dealing damage, they're worth a shot. Roger that. Oh, what a surprise. Another creepy thing. I wish there were an easier way to take care of them. One blow using a nest craft or a break should do the trick for just about any enemy. The catch is our CP has to be at least 100 to pull off one of those moves. So that's the treasure we're after, huh? We made it this far. The rest is going to be a piece of cake. Seems like we've got a little breathing room at least. Let's pay close attention to our battle order this time. There should be a number of ways to get more mileage out of our actions. Do our thing, and now we can see what's in the box, I think. Yes. Good work, you two. As a rule of training, I'm going to need to confirm the items in your possession. Hand it over, small box 2. Yep, they're the real deal, all right. I don't see any evidence of tampering either. Oh, that was a close one. I figured she would try and set us up like that. Congratulations to the both of you. You have successfully passed your qualification test. You didn't really think something that simple would be a problem for us, did you? So, Shara, what's on those boxes you had us get? That's for me to know and you to find out after your training is finished. That's enough chit-chat for now, so let's get back to work. You two still have some things left to do. Seriously? But didn't you just say that we passed the test? You still have to learn about how to report the results of your work. I'm aware that you're both tired, but this is no time to shirk your duties. Let's get back to the guild. When is this day going to be over? Oh well, no sense in giving up when the finish line is in sight. Agreed. Seems like we're within reaching distance of our goal. Your final training is how to report to the guild. Whenever you finish a job, it is your duty to report the results of your work to the guild. Reporting how you resolved the situation and the steps you took to get there are all part of your job as a bracer. You can report your results to the front desk in each guild branch. And, as you already know by now, Ina is in charge here at the Roland branch. In addition, this is where you will be paid for your work. I look forward to seeing great things from the both of you. Now that we're here, why don't you both go ahead and report the results of today's training? Good job, you two. It seems like you were able to complete your objective without running into major problems. Another thing to take note of is that depending on how you handle the job, you may see an increase or decrease in the amount of pay you receive. When you report the results of your work to the guild, pay in the form of Mira isn't the only thing you will receive. You will also accumulate points, which are known as BP or Bracer points. Bracer points are an indication of your achievements as a Bracer. When these points exceed a certain value, you will advance in rank as a Bracer and be awarded with the Priest of Special Equipment by the Guild. The ranks of Junior Bracers start at 9 and go all the way up to 1. Please set your sights on making first rank and hardware and work hard. The amount of Mira and BP you receive will also be recorded in your Bracer notebooks, so please have a look sometime later on. All that's left to do now is finalize your training. Let's head back upstairs, shall we? I'll talk to you later, Ina. Sorry about putting more work on your plate today than usual. Don't worry about it. Training new Bracers is important for the future of the guild. I fully intend to work these two to the bone in any case. To the bone? And knowing Shara, it'll involve the whip. Let me say it again. Good work, you two. You now have officially completed the entire training course. From now on, you'll be learning from your own real-world experience. Well then. Scheherazade holds out 2 small boxes. Aren't those the boxes the one? In answer to your question, yes. These are the boxes you retrieved during your today's test. You seem awfully curious to find out what's inside, Estelle. Are you saying that it's okay if we open them? That's right. Why don't the both of you have a look and see what's inside? Sweet! Alright, let's have a look. Junior Bracer, this crest is... So does that mean we're... Estelle Bright, Joshua Bright. Beginning this day at 1500 hours, 13, 14, 3 o'clock. You are both hereby appointed as Junior Bracers within the Bracer Guild. From here on, you will work as members of the Bracer Guild to support the livelihood of those around you, defend peace, and uphold justice. Congratulations, you two, and welcome into the Vault. Did you hear that, Joshua? We've become Bracers of the Bracer Guild. So I'm a Bracer now, huh? I think the realization is only now just beginning to sink in. Come on, Joshua. You should be jumping for joy or running around and screaming at the top of your lungs like this. Look at us now, world. We did it. I was happy until you made my eardrums bleed. I hate to interrupt the celebration, Estelle, but I need to take off now. I have some backed up work that needs my immediate attention. We understand. You've been spending a lot of extra hours working with us during this busy time for the guild. Before you head out, Shara, I just want to say thanks. Likewise. I appreciate all the trouble you've gone for us, Shara. And don't mention it. Training new recruits is one of the Bracer's many duties. Believe it or not, I was once in your shoes a long time ago when your father, Cassius, trained me. So that's why you have so much respect for my dad, huh? There's actually much more to it than that, but I'll save that conversation for another day. As for the both of you, work hard to become fully fledged Bracers early on so you can help guide those new recruits who come after yourselves. And in time, I hope to see you both become respectable Bracers like your father. Anyway, I'll leave you with that, though. I just don't get it. Get what? This is Scheherazade, aka the Silver Streak, one of the most skilled young Bracers we're talking about. So why is it that she holds Dad in such high esteem? He just seems like nothing more than a no-good middle-aged man who is always out doing who knows what instead of being a father. A no-good middle-aged man, huh? From your viewpoint, it doesn't come as a surprise that you would seem in that fashion. Huh? Never mind. Let's hurry back and head home. We should let Dad know that we qualified as Junior Bracers. Right! Hurry up, come on! Wait for me, Luke! Although I do enjoy that Phantom Thief B shows up in here. Oh, it's you two! Oh, great, it's Estelle. Hi there, Joshua. Okay, you little twerp. What's with the okay, it's Estelle remark? And what's with the big hurry? How about telling us where you're headed? You're not thinking about wandering out of town alone, are you? The roads are full of monsters, I hope you know.
You're such a pest, Estelle. You're no wronger than a fool who thinks there's better tasting milk in Liberal than the milk that comes from Purcell Farm. No way! You're full of it, Estelle. In fact, as a few minutes ago, we qualified to become real bracers. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Real bracers.
More like braces and training, really. Don't think you should be getting on your high horse just yet, Estelle. Now, high pony, on the other hand.
Quit being a killjoy. Wow, you two are great. I'm so happy for the both of you.
She does.
Oh, Pat, you're such a good little boy. Unlike that smart aleck and cynical brat you call a friend. This isn't fair. I was supposed to embrace her first. I can accept that Joshua became a but I'm a horrible person who doesn't like people.
Rather, I think it's the opposite.
What do you mean by that?
Don't worry about it. Just a boy. Fuck you, Joshua. At any rate, what do you think Luke meant when he said secret base? I don't know why, but somehow it makes me a bit curious.
I know exactly what you mean. A secret base sounds really intriguing. The pure heart of a young child can be so inspiring at times.
That's not really what I meant by curious.
Oh, hi, Aina.
Something wrong? You seem to be in quite a hurry.
We've got a bit of a problem. Is your father at home today? Yes, he is. He said something about having to sort out a bunch of documents. But what's going on? You know Luke and Pat, right? Sure we do. In fact, we saw them not too long ago.
What's wrong? Are they in some sort of trouble?
I don't know how to say this, but I just heard from Uni that Luke and Pat ran off to the tower that lies on the northern outskirts of Roland. You mean the Tower of Esmalas? Is that place supposed to be the breeding ground for monsters? That's what they say. Unfortunately, at the moment, Shrezard is out on other bracer business, so I want to ask your father to bring the boys home safely. What are you talking about? There's no time for that. Joshua and I will go after them and bring them back. I don't know if that's a good idea. The two of you only just qualified to be junior bracers today.
With all due respect, I believe that Estelle's judgment is correct in this situation. If the two of us hurry, we may even be able to catch up with the boys before they reach the tower.
I understand. I'll take responsibility for whatever happens. As an emergency request from the Bracer Guild, I ask that you lose no time in bringing about the safe return of these children. Roger that.
Understood.
The Esmalis Tower can be reached by taking the western path at the junction along Margaret Trail. You can get at the Margaret Trail through Roland's northwest gate. I'll be on standby at the guild, so if you run into any trouble, you know where to find me. This is our first real job. Come on, Joshua. We don't have any time to lose.
I'm right behind you. It's like the altars. Cold Steel too.
It looks like we've come all the way to Osmalis Tower. I didn't see any sign of them along the trail, so do you think they're wanted inside?
It's quite likely that's the case. Let's go in. Looks like we'll need to hurry.
Right. It's dark in here. I'm scared. Quit being a baby. We're only on the first floor of this place. Did you hear that? They really did come in here.
Estelle, are you all right?
Luke, Pat! If you can hear me, answer me now. Those little brats. Are they pretend they can't hear us?
They might have climbed up to the second floor. Let's hurry and see if we can find them.
Yeah. What are we gonna do? Somebody help!
Russian simultaneously with Joshua.
Let's go, Joshua.
Right, I've got your back.
You monsters go somewhere else. Shoo, leave us alone. Chew on this. Chew on this. Estelle, what are you doing here? Joshua, you're here too? Get back, you two. These monsters aren't playing around.
We'll take care of them.
It looks like that's that.
Yeah, I'm glad everyone's safe too. By the way, that was a great timing the way you blitzed those monsters, Estelle.
You really think so? Is it safe now? Oh man, that was awesome! You really showed them, Estelle. Not, fuck you. What's wrong with you? You haven't dragged poor Pat all the way up here against his will. It's time to think about what you did today. Ow, you're hurting me. I said stop it. So this is the thanks I get for saving your neck, huh? Looks like it's time to give you some of my special discipline. All right, Estelle, I'm sorry. Everything was my fault. Estelle, shouldn't we forgive each other like they teach us at school? This brat doesn't need forgiveness. A little discipline should do the trick.
Still behind you.
It's something with teeth, isn't it? Nice monster.
I'm not gonna make it in time.
What's up, Daddy?
Dad, you came. You still lack skill and understanding, Estelle. You must always be prepared for unseen danger by sharpening your senses. That's part of what it means to be a bracer.
Dad? What are you doing here?
I just happened to be in town and heard the whole story from Ina. I'll give you points for your quick thinking and taking action to come after the children. But you failed to follow through completely.
I really messed up, didn't I?
It's a good thing you showed up when you did. I'm sorry. I should have been watching her back. Oh, that just means that you have room for improvement. Constantly working to overcome your weak spots is the key. Understood. So how about we head home, everyone? Can you boys walk?
I think so. That was incredible, Mr. Bright. You were like a gazillion times more awesome than Estelle.
Of course I am. I'm her father. All right, everyone, let's file on out of here.
I'm with you, Mr. Bright. Who's the glory hog now? I mean, I guess I should be thankful that my dad saved my behind. But why does he have to go and take all the credit like that? It really chaps my hide.
That's just the way he is. After all, he is Cassius Bright.
Bum, 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 bum. It seems like you've had quite the day. Dad is just unbelievable. The second we get back to Roland, he says, I'll leave the reporting to you and takes off for home. The sheer nerve, I'll tell you.
There's no need to make a mountain out of a molehill over it. At least the boys came back safe and sound. Anyway, I think that's all there is to report.
Yay!
Give me that fucking mirror.
You did well in your first assignment. From the details of your report alone, I believe I can commend you both on a job well done. You should be proud of yourselves. You really think so? I know so. In fact, you'll do even better on your next job. If anything else comes up, I would appreciate your help again. Sure.
How about we head home too?
I guess we better. I've still got dinner to prepare. Would you mind holding on a second? A letter arrived from your father just a little while ago. Unfortunately, since he went straight home, I never got a chance to give it to him. Do you think you could deliver it instead? I wonder if it's more work-related stuff. I imagine so. The letter appears to be from one of our foreign branches.
One of the guild's foreign branches?
As I'm sure you already know by now, Liberl isn't the only country where bracer guilds exist. On top of that, your father is widely known across the Zumerian continent, so we can expect these kind of letters from time to time. If you two would be so kind as to make sure he gets this letter, I would really appreciate it. Hey, Joshua. Do you think I'm really cut out to be a bracer?
Well, you seem to have inherited your father's skills with the staff, and your nosy personality doesn't let you ignore someone in distress.
Really? You think so?
Sure, but why are you asking? Are you still thinking about what happened back at the tower?
Yeah. Because of my carelessness, Luke almost got caught in the middle of the dangerous situation. If Dad hadn't come when he did, he could have been seriously injured. I guess I'm just worried about whether or not I'll be able to stay on top of things in the future.
I know what that's like. That kind of talk doesn't sound like the Estelle I know.
Huh?
If we fail today, then all that's left to do is take back our losses tomorrow, right? If we're thinking and worrying about things that haven't happened yet, it's definitely not like you. Isn't being a bracer what you've always dreamed of? How can you expect to succeed if you let something like what happened today discourage you?
Joshua, you're right. This isn't like me at all.
I don't think a serious expression really suits your face either. You laughing like a big ditz is far more natural for you.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean? You're gonna see my anger expression if you keep that up.
Okay. I admit that last comment was pushing things a bit.
I'll overlook it this time, and thanks for cheering me up. I don't know about you, but I'm so ready to get home and eat. My stomach just started growling like a bear.
Maybe glutton is closer to the mark than ditz.
We're home, Dad. We finished reporting to the guild like you told us to.
Good work, kids. The details of your reports will be reviewed at each branch and will affect your pay and rank advancement in the future. Please make sure that you always remember to do it.
Don't worry, we will. And before I forget, I got the copy of the Loburo news you wanted. There was this letter for you at the guild, too.
A letter, huh?
Well, I'm gonna get cleaned up and start dinner. Oh, and Dad, thanks for coming when you did today. You really helped me out back there.
I see you're being rather gracious today. Papa is happy. How delightful that my daughter has finally understood what a great man her father truly is. There's no need to hold back, Estelle. Come and jump into my arms, or come and jump into your father's loving arms.
In your dreams, I swear.
I guess she's not as depressed as I thought she'd be. Should I be thanking you, Joshua? I didn't do much. I just gave her a push in the right direction. Estelle's a resilient girl to begin with. Yes, she is, but she still has a long way to go. She'll run into more than just a few stumbling blocks in this line of work, and overcoming those obstacles is what will teach her to stand up on her own 2 feet. There's a soft side of yours talking again.
Oh no! Are eggs supposed to explode like that? I guess I shouldn't have gone and expected to make a perfect meal in a single try. No, wait. Cooking is supposed to be about passion. Exploding eggs are passion, right? Now, once more, you sound like a million.
Oh, that daughter of mine can sometimes be a little too, passionate. I think I'll go home with dinner. We don't want the curtains to catch fire again. But at this rate, there's no telling what we can expect to have. When we can expect to have a bite of food ready for the dinner table. Ha! All right then, let's see what this letter is all about, shall we? Oh, a message from the Erebonian Empire?
Oh, Erebonia.
What? Wow, this is a surprise.
This new dish is what I call Estelle's explosion over rice. Be sure to savor every last morsel.
I will. Your cooking this evening is excellent. My compliments to the chef.
This is raw talent at its best. Today certainly has been a busy but great day nonetheless. We qualified as junior bracers, had our first assignment, and I didn't even lose my eyebrows making dinner this time.
Not to mention the food being delicious. For a first attempt, this dish is actually quite edible. At first, I thought I might have to pitch it out the window when you weren't looking, but it seems that technique won't be necessary tonight.
Sometimes you're just despicably rude, Dad. Don't you know how to be humble and just say something tastes nice?
All right then, how about this? Boy, I never thought I'd be able to eat something wonderful like this before I had to leave on business. You made a splendid meal, Estelle.
Thanks, Dad. Wait, business?
Are you really leaving again? Yes. Something unexpected came up. This time I'm going to be away for a while.
Hold on a minute. You're leaving when?
Tomorrow morning.
What? I don't care what kind of job you're doing. That's just too soon.
It's about that letter, isn't it? Was there some sort of incident? Oh, it's nothing like that. Just a simple investigation. I'll have to visit a number of places, so it'll take me a solid month before I'm through. That being the case, please take good care of the house while I'm away.
What do you mean, that being the case? You always use some vague excuse like that and take off for who knows how long.
We have to accept it, Estelle. A bracer's job is to help those who come to us for help.
I know, but what are you going to do about all your jobs here at the Roland branch? You've already accepted a few of them, haven't you?
Oh, about 5 or 6. So I was thinking, and how about the both of you handle them for me instead?
What? Are you really asking us to do the work that you're supposed to be doing?
That I am. I'll have you do the ones which I think you can accomplish. And I'll ask Scheherazade to handle the difficult ones. So, what do you say?
Sure, of course we will. You're okay with doing those too, right, Joshua?
Yeah, no problems. Looks like a good way to get some experience as a bracer. Then it's settled. I'll stop by the guild and let Ina know about the change of plan before I leave.
All right, I'm starting to feel more determined than ever. We'll have to bust our tails with these jobs so we don't tarnish your name while we're gone.
Oh, Estelle, my beloved daughter. Papa's so proud. Oh, my dear Lena, who art in heaven, can you see your daughter now? Our little Estelle has grown up to be such a lovely young woman.
Face it, Dad, you're getting old. If people lose their trust in you at this age, you might as well just throw in the towel forever. I'm only helping you out because I'm your daughter, and I have a duty to pay you back for the last 16 years.
I'm only 45. And what's more, I'm very likely the most active member in the entire guild. Not bad for a pair of comedians. By the way, Dad, which flight will you be on tomorrow? The one headed for Grancel or the one headed for Bose? I'll be on the one headed for Grancel. My flight departs at 10 o'clock in the morning.
That means I'll have to get up a little earlier tomorrow. I better set my alarm clock just in case.
Finally finished Trails of Cold Steel 2, so, Shells in the Sky won the vote. So now we're on this. Finally, because it's been like 9 months since I bought the equipment to stream with the PSP. Dad? Are you still awake, Joshua? You better hold off on the liquor, or Estelle will get mad again. This is just my way of lifting my spirits before I travel. How about yourself? Would you like to join me for a drink? You're like Sarah. I'll pass. Actually, what I should be saying here is, don't offer alcohol to minors. I'm not like Shara, who would jump at any chance to enjoy a drink or 10. That's because she holds her liquor much better than I do. There's something really serious happening, isn't there? There's no conclusive evidence, but there appears to be some sort of movement within the Empire. The Erebonian Empire? That sounds pretty suspicious. Their movement doesn't appear to be overt, but that's just what has me worried. I intend to do a little probing at the Erebonian Embassy to see what turns up. Understood. I'll make sure to look after Estelle while you're gone. Don't you spoil that girl, you hear me? Now that she's become a bracer, she needs to learn to look after herself. Estelle will be fine. She's got good instincts, and despite being a bit rough around the edges, she has talent with the staff as well. There's no doubt in my mind that she'll be a first-class bracer someday. Yet at present, she's like a babe in arms who knows nothing about the realities of the world around her. At some point in time, she'll have to choose which path to follow in life. And Joshua, the same thing can be said of you too. It's already been 5 years since you become a part of this family, hasn't it? How time does fly. Yes, it sure does seem that way. About what you said back then, are you sure you won't reconsider taking those words back? For me, keeping my word is what defines who I am. If I can't do something as simple as that, I don't know how I could live with myself. I know this may sound stubborn, but I can't take back what I said. I'm sorry. There's no need to apologize, but I'd like you to remember this. No matter what path you choose in life, you can't erase those past 5 years. Estelle and I will always be your family, no matter what may befall you. Thanks, Dad. Oh, something's happening in the Erebonian Empire. Something's happening in the Erebonian Empire, everybody.
It's so weird playing